everybody. Today we're going to take a look at some microphones. You know, I have now cut, 5 records as a leader. All the time people are asking, what's your microphone setup? Saxophone is kind of an interesting and somewhat confounding instrument to record with. I've been in a lot of different situations where sometimes there is an engineer who knows a lot about saxophone, and sometimes when I'm freelancing, sometimes they don't know as much about saxophone, and so I have to kind of make requests. So this video is for anybody out there who might be recording saxophone in the near future and wants to think about the different kinds of microphones and the different effects that they bring out. Today we're going to look at different microphones, some dynamic microphones. The Shure SM57, that's a kind of a go-to microphone for a lot of live situations that I've found. We're going to take a look at some ribbon microphones, AEA N22 and R84, as well as the KU5A. We're going to take a look at some large diaphragm condensers, including Neumann TLM 103, and we're also going to take a look at a tube condenser, the Warm Audio WA47. Starting with each microphone, I'll talk a little bit about kind of my impressions and the situations in which I would use different microphones. Now, my philosophy has always been, if you can get it right in the mic choice and the mic placement, you can save yourself a ton of headaches in post. And that's one of the reasons, that I'm making this video. All right, so the SM57, pretty much whatever you point it at is where you're getting the sound. So a lot of the times people will try to shove this particular microphone right into your bell, and that's fairly common. For recording situations, I like it to be a little bit further away so that you do catch a little bit more ambient sound, which is you're going to catch with a dynamic mic. And that's primarily because if you think about it, you don't listen to the saxophone with your ear to the bell. Nobody does that. And so you really want to take a look at, some different mic placement. All right, we're going to move over to the more condenser side of things. Large diaphragm condensers, they have this effect of picking up a lot of the highs in the saxophone sound that I really just love. If you only have one microphone, you might make it a large diaphragm condenser because of the fact that, a lot of the time you're going to get everything that a saxophone sound does. And especially I like these on tenor saxophone. On the alto, I tend to prefer a ribbon. We'll get a little bit more to why that is. Basically, the condenser it's kind of your all-around microphone, in my opinion. And so it catches all those highs and also some of the beautiful lows and mids that you get in a saxophone sound. Now, a tube condenser like the Warm Audio WA47 is going to pick up, basically it's going to be like that, but on steroids. So be careful with tube condensers because they will require an external power supply. All right, that's something that you definitely want to think of, although that's not going to be a problem in most studios, even in our studio here in the NSU Jazz Lab where I'm recording this, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. So the next category of microphone is one of my favorites, and it's the ribbon microphone. Now the ribbon microphone gets a lot of dark richness in the sound. I love using them on saxophone because there are some microphones that really miss the warmth and the richness of the saxophone. They'll give you a lot of punch, but the warmth and richness, especially in jazz settings and especially in classical settings, is something that we really like to hear in a recorded sound. So here I've got the KU5A, R84, and the N22, all from AEA, just who make wonderful ribbon microphones. And here that each one of them has a distinctive kind of character. The R84 has a beautiful warmth to it, and the KU5A, I think it works really well on trumpet and trombone because it really cuts away a lot of those kind of brighter sounds. And, but I also love it on saxophone. I cut my last record, Survival of the Fittest, on a KU5A. That was one of the microphones that we used. Now, if you want something a little bit more midfield, the N22 AEA is your bet. And I love this Nuvo series from AEA. They really work well for saxophone, and I see a lot of my saxophone friends, colleagues, heroes using them as well. My goal as a saxophonist is to always kind of resemble that live or club sound. I want people to hear me as though they'd be coming to one of my gigs. And so what I'm after is taking that live saxophone sound and kind of recreating it through zeros and ones and kind of the magic of EQ. I hope you found this video helpful. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more recording content and also more stuff about playing the saxophone in general. Thanks.